Hello there and welcome to a beautiful summer's day here in the English countryside, and what possible better location could there be for test driving this, the new Aston Martin Vantage. Okay, so here I am inside the delicious 2018 Aston Martin Vantage. I don't think they should have called this thing Vantage. This is so different from the old car. It is completely on another level. Okay, it's the same sort of recipe. There's a V8 engine, there is quite a lot of power and a very naughty exhaust note, but this thing is on a completely different level. People stop and their jaws drop when they see this car. From the low nose with the little lights and that imposing grille, to the little ducktail at the back, the really wide haunches as well, which just screams aggression, power, and well, beauty. Now there are some people out there who have a few issues with this new Vantage, so I'm going to take a look around and show you what those few consternations really are and whether they're actually valid or not, in my opinion. Point number one, the engine. Now if you read internet forums, you'll know there are lots of very nasal people shouting, oh, this isn't the right engine for the car, it doesn't make it an Aston Martin. Absolute hogwash. Now this is essentially an AMG GTS engine. So you've got a twin turbo V8, 4 litres, 510 horsepower in this thing, 503 brake horsepower, stat fans. And I mean, honest to God, who cares where the engine comes from when it goes this well, it sounds this incredible. The second thing people seem to have a problem with on this car is the new front grille. Now, I will admit, it's quite large, but for some reason, Aston Martin decided to take all of their press shots from really low down, which really sort of accentuated the size of this thing. People who keep saying, for some reason, that they think the front end looks like a Mazda MX-5. Firstly, you might want to go and visit Specsavers, and secondly, come and see one of these amazing Vantages in the flesh. Now, the last thing that people seem to have a real problem with are these letters on the back here. I mean, seriously. But the reason is the Aston Martin Wings badge doesn't really have a great deal of brand recognition outside of UK and Europe, so they have this, which is optional. So let's all just chill out, yeah? A few people seem to get their knickers in a twist about the fact that this has a lot of German tech with it. Now, there was a tie-up with Daimler-Benz, and with Daimler-Benz comes all of their technical wizardry. You've got a fully digital display in front of you, you've got fantastic voice control that actually works. I don't really like the little stuck-on iPad-style sat-nav. I think it would be much nicer if it folded away. That would be more Aston Martin. It sounds delicious. It's an oral treat, shall we say, like pouring gravy in your ears. But, and this is a big one for me, as is the case with seemingly most performance cars these days, including the AMGs, when this thing upshifts, it does a farting noise. I mean, I hate to describe it that way, but it does. It revs and it goes, bah, bah, bah. And it's an engineered in noise. This does it, AMGs do it, the Golf R does it, the AMG A45 AMG does it. Just AMG I've said too many times, but you know what I mean. And it's engineered in, and it definitely sounds very false, and I don't really understand why it does it, because I don't like the noise. But that's a tiny wee thing. Everything's happening very quickly. So you want everything to be at hand. You don't want to have to scroll through menus or anything like that in order to get to what you want. And there is this array of buttons down the front here that which gives you everything you need to know. You've got all your infotainment system, you've got your gear selection buttons, and then you've got your climate control systems. Now, one thing that really surprised me about this new Vantage actually is the size of the boot, especially compared to the old one. And there's just loads of room. You could easily put enough stuff in here to go away for a long weekend, maybe even a week. It's really quite practical. Who knew? So there you go, that was the Aston Martin Vantage. What an absolutely spectacular sports car. In case you hadn't noticed, I really quite liked it. Now do not forget, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and tick the little notifications bell as well, because there are plenty more reviews coming on this channel from me and from Christian. So go and check them out.